Well, let's first report, the latest incident of a kidnapping that took place late last night. From the information that has been gathered, I've been able to speak to, one of the family that is involved in one of their cousins that was kidnapped, along with the others as well. And this is what my findings this morning, which we've also been able to circulate. Hopefully, the government and the security agency will work on it as quickly as possible. But my question is, if the kidnappers are communicating back with the family, that means we should be able to track down to the location pinpoint of where these individuals are. We've seen the government, we've seen, the private sector are able to trace back lines from one end to the other, but we hope they'll be able to do the same thing. 18-seater bus was hijacked. We can't ascertain how many passengers. All passengers were kidnapped. The incident happened between Igboora to Eruwa. And the individual that I spoke to said my cousin was going to Lalante from Lagos. I can't confirm yet if the vehicle was traveling from Lagos or from Abeokuta. All this is happening within the southwest, but it was definitely heading to Eruwa. I was also told that the vehicle had been recovered and is now at the Eruwa police station as I speak right now. Also, there has been a contact between the kidnapper and the cousins through a telephone number that that is also ongoing. And the individual also said, my cousin that was going to see her aged mother in Eruwa, who has been on the sick bed for the last 2 years. Again, health failure and some other issues when we talk about, the infrastructure as well. But the kidnapper are now demanding a ransom of 10 million naira from this individual. And that just continues to tell us that the insecurity in the land is becoming something that more Nigerians will have to do something, either to defend themselves or to speak up to their representative, just like in Rivers State, where they've totally not allowed some of the government houses to come out for the non-payment of the teachers in the last 5 years. I'm going to come back again to you in the studio, and then we go straight through some of the other headlines as we have it this morning.
Nigeria, as we know, has not got standing phone booths for you to say that, well, in those communities, they are like what we have here in London, so I can go and stand in a phone booth, maybe somewhere in Streatham, and I can make a call and just run off. Yeah, but we don't have anything of the sort. Therefore, people are using mobile phones to do those communications. Now, and the security agency telling us that they don't have anything of the sort to be able to, like you were saying, find where the pin them and find where they are. Because even I can just use my iPhone to check maybe my tablet or another iPhone to track or trace it. So what are they talking about?
Well, if I have to say that we haven't got those kind of gadgets, then that means we'll definitely, be given a false information. Those gadgets are probably somewhere in the storeroom, not being used for the purpose of what it has been purchased for. And, the negligence of where we continue to talk about the 1999 Constitution, that crime is local. Every crime in Birmingham is different from the crime in Tottenham. The crime in Manchester is different from the crime in Bristol. And we cannot continue to review and talk about the Constitution that should have provided some of these facilities. I mean, let's give an example. I was in the country not last year, the year before, and I had an opportunity or a reason to visit one of the police stations in Surulere. And yes, just like you did mention, the officer said to us right on the seat, we can trace this individual if we are paid to do so. That means, you have to put in some extra funding for them to be able to trace the number back to where the number was ringing from. So that means that the gadget is available, but it is not there to be used for the members of the public until you know someone and connected to somebody before those kind of gadgets will be removed either from the box or from their warehouse and then to be used to the purpose. If a kidnapper is communicating back, from one end to another, that means there's a kind of a connection going on, and that connection can be traced back in this technology age that we are. But like I say, it is one of the biggest problems when you call a police station and they haven't got the petrol in the vehicle to come out to solve the crime.
Interestingly, I'm making a statement. Nobody should take it offensively. It's a statement movement is something that is bothering me. Now, is it that the security agencies are benefiting from this kidnapping? Think about it. Maybe they are benefiting from it and therefore wouldn't want to fight it, because at a point in Ghana we had police officers who were taking ammunitions or guns and giving to people to go and perpetrate armed robbery and stuff like that. Is it that they are benefiting from it, therefore they wouldn't grab the whip? Or like Olayomi was saying, maybe their vehicles are there, they don't have fuel in their vehicles, and if they have to even buy their own uniforms, and what do they care? The government is not going to put up or give the funds for them to do their work. Maybe that's why they are going on. But we'll be saying more about that. Let's go back to Mr. Olayomi Koiki and let's see what else he has for us. Over to you.
And now this takes us straight to those headlines that you like to hear this morning on the morning show. Remember to also send money through Sendwave to your loved ones in Nigeria or the Southwest. And remember to use the code that is star, and that would also give you some kind of discount as well. Nigerians in diaspora are well behaved and educated. I'm sure millions of Nigerians will agree to that. But those agreement does not align with the Nigerians at home. So that means there's a kind of disparity among that. We have the second, the first, and the third, fourth generation that have left the country. They are doing very well, but they can't replicate the same thing back in Nigeria. And I'll be giving you the reason behind for that in some of this headline as well. We've talked about the kidnapping, and also Ondo Monarch demands more policemen as 3 construction workers have been kidnapped. Also, petrol now sells for 175 naira per litre as now queues is now reduced in Abuja this morning. Nigerian businesses lose $29 billion annually to poor electricity, according to the World Bank. I mean, I'm sure we are still enjoying the NEPA as I speak right now, but that does not guarantee that before the end of this show, the NEPA will not be able to do justice by just taking off the lights. So that means if I'm operating a business from home or I'm operating a business from my business premises, you would have to have a standard gauge generator that would also be able to be using the petrol or a diesel. And these are questions that a lot of Nigerians are asking. If Nigeria businesses are losing $29 billion, if you look at what we are remitting into the country as diaspora, that the country also knows that we have the best brain around the world. We are remitting almost close to 29 billion. I would put it at about 20 billion, if not a little bit more. So that means what we are bringing home and what we are losing is just something that, it's got to be looked into. The Commissioner for Police have now direct manhunt as gunmen kill 2 police and raise Enugu police station. Let's talk about the police station that keeps going into flame in the southeast of the country. We saw the first one that was pointed at the IPOB until the governor came out and said, no, it's got nothing to do with the IPOB. Less than 72 hours to that, we've seen more buildings of the police headquarters. And when you talk about the headquarters, I mean, let's go back and look at the closest headquarters that we have in UK. Imagine putting a flame to the police headquarters in the United Kingdom. Before you get to those kind of buildings, somebody must have saw you. Somebody must have been able to see the movement. But this is Nigeria, where we can easily say gunmen are now using the police station to create havoc, releasing more prisoners that have been kept in the prison, and now some of them have returned, while majority of them are just now mingling among Nigerians, or maybe they're outside the country, somewhere in the neighboring country, who knows. Bandit, another breaking news. Bandit kills 60 people in a fresh attack on Zamfara community. Witnesses says the assailant, who came on the motorcycle in their large number, stormed the villages and began to fire sporadically gunshot.